And we're joined by Brian Rogers, the People's Party of Canada candidate in the riding of Kelowna-Lake country. Great to meet you, Brian.
Thanks, Kent. Appreciate the interview.
So, why choose this party? It's not one of the mainstream ones. What is it about this party that appeals to you?
Well, I'd say for probably about the past 15, 20 years, I've been very disgruntled with how our politics have shown up, especially when it comes to accountability, whether it's accountability, censorship, lack of freedoms, or taking away our freedoms. I wanted to try and establish somehow, some way to get into politics at that time. And unfortunately, I couldn't find, it's very hard to get into politics, I found, as an independent, very tough. And I was finding that there was really no political party out there that I saw that had any kind of moral values or any promises that were kept or anything like that. So I kept a very, very close eye on the Conservative leadership a couple leaderships ago when Maxime was running in that leadership. And I liked what he had to say at the time, and I was disappointed he didn't make the leader at that time. But when I found out that he was going to start his own party, and on the ideas that he had when he was talking about it at the Conservative leadership conventions, I was all for it, and I got on that as quickly as I could, became a founding member, and there hasn't been a single thing in the platform that I've been against. I think it's solid Conservative platform.
Okay, so what are some of the planks in that platform that really appeal to you?
That really appealed to me? Well, one, the freedom aspect, especially that the freedom to do what you want in your life without interfering with the rights of others. Just open freedom, period. Not being curtailed by government. And one of my favorite quotes, I have to admit, came out of Ronald Reagan some time ago, where I think I'm all for this. Government needs to stand out of the way and let people live their lives. That's it.
So, if you were to look at polling, it doesn't look like there's a big chance that you win this seat, but by campaigning, you get a chance to perhaps at least have an influence on where the conversation goes?
I hope so, and I believe we've had more of a chance, especially this round, than we definitely had in the first chance. We're getting our name out there more and more. I think one of the big aspects of what we're talking about is, of course, the big freedom. That's our big goal right there. Second one is stop all the censorship, especially with Bill C-10 and C-36. Those are terrible bills. I mean, absolutely terrible.
So in this province right now, we have a vaccine mandate coming into place for people that want to attend to restaurants and other events. And I take it from looking at your materials online that you oppose that.
Absolutely. I mean, how many times has any kind of segregation whatsoever throughout all of history ever worked? We had Nazi Germany segregate the Jews. We had the 40s and 50s in southern USA. We had segregation of black people. And I mean, the argument for that segregation is terrible. They considered blacks to be uneducated and unclean, and I'm thinking, wow, that really seems to resemble how the left is treating the unvaccinated right now, as uneducated and unclean.
If I can be devil's advocate in this conversation, I think the reason behind it isn't to subjugate a group of people, it's to encourage people to get vaccinated in an effort to bring this pandemic to a close faster and keep people healthy and stop the spread. I don't see, the kind of nefarious intent behind it that one would associate with Nazi Germany.
Why does it have to be mandated? I mean, people should have a choice. That's what freedom is all about. And
when freedom impinges on others, maybe it's a time when some freedoms have to be set aside? I guess you're saying no.
I disagree. I mean, all freedoms that are given to anybody are not given to groups of people, they're given to individuals, right? When you start setting aside groups of people, whether it's through pandering of any kind, monetarily, or rights to do this or rights to not to do that, you are creating a division in people, period.
So we have 3 or 5 minutes or so here. Is there anything, Brian, that we haven't brought up that you want to make sure that people getting to know you hear about?
I think the main thing is, let's talk about the freedom aspect. Let people decide for themselves whether or not they want to be vaccinated. Give them the information, let them decide. Other than that, I can't see anything else that I'm not echoing from Maxime. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. It was great to get to know you and where you're coming from, and appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Kent. I appreciate you coming by.